Book of Esther, a tale as old as time, a story of courage, faith, and the silent hand of God. But what makes this particular book so unique, so compelling? Unlike any other book in the Old Testament, Esther bears the name of a woman, sharing this distinction only with the Book of Ruth. Yet its uniqueness doesn't end there. The Book of Esther is shrouded in a mystique that has puzzled scholars and theologians alike. For within its pages, a curious absence echoes. The name of God is never directly mentioned. This intriguing anomaly has sparked countless debates and interpretations. Imagine a world where your faith is tested, not through overt persecution, but through a deafening silence. This is the world of the Book of Esther, a world where God's presence is felt, not declared, a world where faith operates in the shadows. The Book of Esther, you see, is not about the absence of God, but about his silent power. It's about recognizing his hand in the seemingly coincidental, in the twists of fate that shape our lives. It's about understanding that even when he seems distant, his plan is unfolding, his protection ever present. This concept, this hidden hand of God, is central to understanding Esther's story. At the heart of this story stands Esther, a woman of two names, a woman of two worlds. Born Hadassah, meaning myrtle, a symbol of beauty and fragrance, she is later renamed Esther, a name echoing Ishtar, a Babylonian goddess. This duality, this fusion of identities, is symbolic of Esther's position. She is a young Jewish woman thrust into the heart of the Persian Empire, chosen to be the queen of a king who remains oblivious to her true heritage. Imagine the weight of this secret, the constant fear of discovery, yet Esther doesn't crumble. Esther's hidden identity is not a source of shame, but a catalyst for action. It becomes a tool, a weapon wielded not in anger, but in love, in desperation to save her people from impending doom. This, perhaps, is the most powerful message woven into the fabric of Esther's story. It speaks to the importance of identity, of embracing our heritage, even perhaps especially when it seems dangerous to do so. Esther's journey is a call to action, an urging to stand up for what we believe in, to be a voice for the voiceless, even when fear threatens to silence us. To understand the world of Esther, we must journey back to a time of turmoil and upheaval for the Jewish people, the Babylonian exile. Imagine being torn from your homeland, your temple destroyed, your faith shaken to its core. This was the harsh reality for the Jews in the 6th century BC. Nebuchadnezzar II, the mighty Babylonian king, had conquered Jerusalem, scattering the Israelites to the winds. This forced migration, known as the diaspora, scattered the Jewish people across the vast Babylonian Empire. They found themselves strangers in a strange land, their customs questioned, their beliefs challenged. As decades passed, the sands of power shifted in the ancient world. A new empire, led by the enigmatic Cyrus the Great, emerged from the east, the Persian Empire. Known for their tolerance and efficient governance, the Persians conquered Babylon, forever altering the course of history. Cyrus, in a surprising act of grace, allowed the exiled Jews to return to their homeland. He even provided funds to rebuild the temple in Jerusalem, a testament to his policy of religious freedom. While many Jews seized this opportunity to return, a significant number chose to remain in Persia. The Persian Empire under Xerxes, the Ahasuerus of the Book of Esther, was a realm of opulence and intrigue. Imagine sprawling palaces, vibrant silks, the intoxicating scent of exotic spices, a world both alluring and dangerous. Within this glittering facade, however, lurked a darker reality. Courtly life was a dangerous game, rife with jealousy, betrayal, and the ever-present threat of violence. Power struggles were commonplace, and the whims of the king could elevate or destroy in an instant. It is within this volatile environment that Esther finds herself. The Book of Esther, then, is more than just a romantic tale. It is a story of survival. It speaks to the resilience of the Jewish people, their ability to adapt and thrive even in the face of adversity. It reminds us that faith is not always loud and demonstrative. Sometimes it whispers in the silence, guiding our steps, protecting us from unseen dangers. Esther's story is a testament to this quiet faith, a faith that trusts in God's plan even when it seems unclear. Picture the grandeur of the Persian Empire at its zenith. King Xerxes, known as Ahasuerus in the biblical text, ruled over a vast dominion stretching from India to Ethiopia. His word was law, his power absolute, and he reveled in showcasing the splendor of his realm. In the city of Susa, the magnificent capital of the Persian Empire, Xerxes decided to hold a lavish festival. Imagine sprawling gardens adorned with exotic flowers, fountains gushing with wine, and opulent tents shimmering under the desert sun. It was a celebration of power, a spectacle designed to awe his subjects and intimidate his rivals. On the seventh day of the festival, the king, his senses dulled by days of revelry, decided to showcase his most prized possession, his beautiful Queen Vashti. Summoning his chamberlains, he ordered them to bring the queen to his presence. She was to appear before the assembled guests, adorned in all her finery, a testament to his wealth and power. The chamberlains rushed to relay the king's command, but to their astonishment, Queen Vashti refused. The reason for her defiance remains unclear, shrouded in speculation and debate. Some believe she considered the king's request demeaning, a violation of her dignity. Whatever the reason, Vashti's refusal sent shockwaves through the court. The king's advisors, sensing an opportunity to consolidate their own power, seized upon the situation. They urged Xerxes to make an example of Vashti, to punish her defiance swiftly and publicly. They argued that her disobedience, if left unchecked, would embolden other wives to defy their husbands, undermining the social order of the empire. Reluctantly, Xerxes agreed. He issued a decree etched in stone and proclaimed throughout the land, stripping Vashti of her royal title and banishing her from his presence forever. With Vashti deposed, the search began for a new queen, a woman worthy of standing beside Xerxes on the throne of Persia. Among these young women was Esther, a Jewish orphan being raised by her cousin Mordecai. Unbeknownst to the court, Esther harbored a secret, her Jewish heritage. Mordecai, fearing prejudice, had instructed her to keep her identity hidden. Esther, with her captivating beauty, grace, and intelligence, quickly caught the eye of Hegai. He showered her with favor, ensuring she received the finest garments, perfumes, and cosmetics. When the time came for Esther to appear before the king, she captivated him. At the pinnacle of Xerxes' court stood Haman, the king's chief minister. Haman, a proud and ambitious man, reveled in his position of power. He expected nothing less than complete obedience and respect from all who crossed his path. One man, however, dared to defy Haman's authority: Mordecai, the cousin of Queen Esther. Mordecai, a devout Jew, refused to bow down before Haman, an act seen as a direct challenge to the minister's power. This seemingly insignificant act of defiance planted the seeds of hatred in Haman's heart. Haman, consumed by his desire for vengeance, devised a cunning and deadly plan. He approached Xerxes with a proposition, a plan to rid the empire of a troublesome people who did not follow the king's laws. These people, he argued, posed a threat to the stability of the kingdom. Haman, a master manipulator, played upon Xerxes' vanity and distrust of foreigners. He assured the king that eliminating these people would not only demonstrate his unwavering authority, but also bring great wealth to the royal treasury. Xerxes, blinded by Haman's flattery and the promise of riches, fell prey to the minister's deception. With the king's seal of approval, Haman set his plan in motion. He determined that the extermination of the Jews would take place on a specific day, a day chosen through a sinister lottery known as the casting of Purim. Imagine the chilling scene as Haman and his advisors gathered around a table, their faces illuminated by flickering candlelight, their fingers tracing the edges of bone dice. Each die represented a month in the year. With bated breath, Haman cast the dice, the clatter of bone against wood echoing through the silent room. The fate of the Jewish people hung in the balance, their lives reduced to a game of chance. The chosen month was Adar, a time of anticipation before the arrival of spring. News of the decree spread like wildfire throughout the Persian Empire, carried by messengers on horseback along the dusty roads. Imagine the fear that gripped the Jewish communities as the edict was read aloud in the synagogues and marketplaces. Their world once again was about to be turned upside down. The day chosen for their extermination, the 13th of Adar, became a day of dread, a stark reminder of their vulnerability in a foreign land. In the bustling Jewish quarter of Susa, a palpable sense of despair settled upon the inhabitants. Families huddled together, their faces etched with worry, their prayers a desperate plea for deliverance. The opulent walls of the palace in Susa, adorned with intricate carvings and shimmering with gold leaf, could not keep out the whispers of despair. News of Haman's decree, the planned extermination of the Jews, reached Mordecai, casting a long shadow over his heart. Imagine him pacing anxiously in the courtyard, his face etched with worry as he grappled with the impending doom. Mordecai, his heart heavy with sorrow, tore his clothes, donned sackcloth and ashes, and went out into the city, crying out with a loud and bitter lament. His cries echoed through the streets of Susa, a chilling reminder of the fate that awaited his people. Picture the startled gazes of passers-by, the fear etched on their faces as they turned away from the grieving figure. When Esther learned of her cousin's distress, she was deeply troubled. She had lived a life of privilege and luxury, shielded from the dangers that lurked beyond the palace walls. Mordecai, his voice heavy with sorrow, recounted Haman's evil decree to Hathach. He spoke of the casting of lots and the impending doom over the Jewish people. Mordecai knew that Esther was their only hope. He sent a message to his cousin, pleading with her to intercede with the king. To approach the king without being summoned was a dangerous gamble. Imagine the tension as Esther considered her options. She could not stand idly by while her people faced annihilation. Esther, her heart pounding, sent a message back to Mordecai, acknowledging the danger she faced. All the king's servants know that for any man or woman who goes to the king in the inner court who is not summoned, he has but one law: put all to death, except the one to whom the king holds out the golden scepter. Mordecai reminded Esther that her silence would not guarantee her safety. Yet who knows whether you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this? Destiny had placed her in this precarious position for a reason. Esther, her resolve solidified, decided to take a daring gamble. She sent word to Mordecai, instructing him to gather all the Jews in Susa and fast for her. And so I will go to the king, and if I perish, I perish. Esther, adorned in her finest robes, approached the king's inner court. Xerxes, seated on his throne, looked up in surprise. He extended his golden scepter towards Esther. Relief washed over Esther as she touched the tip of the king's scepter. She was acutely aware of the eyes of the court. The king, his voice laced with genuine affection, broke the silence. "What troubles you, Queen Esther? What is your request?" he asked. Esther invited the king and Haman to a private banquet. It was a calculated risk to create a setting for her plea. Haman, flattered by the invitation, readily accepted. Little did he know he was walking into a trap. As the banquet progressed, the atmosphere crackled with anticipation. Esther, her heart pounding, chose her words carefully. She revealed her hidden heritage. She was a Jew. The king was visibly shaken. Haman realized the game was up. His facade of loyalty crumbled. Esther recounted Haman's plot, the planned massacre. The hall fell silent, the weight of her words settling upon the stunned guests. The king, enraged by Haman's betrayal, rose from his seat. His fury erupted, shaking the palace. Haman fell to his knees, pleading for mercy. Haman was sentenced to death on the gallows he built for Mordecai. Mordecai was elevated to Haman's position. The tables had turned, and Purim was instituted to commemorate this reversal. The story of Esther is a testament to the power of courage in the face of adversity. It reminds us that even in the darkest of times, hope can emerge from unexpected sources. Esther, a young woman thrust into a position of unimaginable power, risked everything to save her people, her courage a beacon of light in a world shrouded in darkness. Her legacy extends far beyond the walls of the palace in Susa. Esther's story continues to inspire generations of people facing persecution and discrimination. Her willingness to embrace her identity, to speak truth to power, serves as a timeless reminder that silence is not an option when injustice prevails. The Book of Esther, with its themes of faith, courage, and the pursuit of justice, transcends its historical context. It speaks to the enduring strength of the human spirit, the power of one person to make a difference, and the unwavering belief that even in the face of overwhelming odds, good can triumph over evil. The Book of Esther, a vibrant tapestry woven with threads of courage, faith, and divine providence, offers a compelling narrative that continues to resonate with audiences centuries after its inception. Esther's story, though set against the backdrop of ancient Persia, speaks to universal themes of identity, resilience, and the struggle against injustice. Imagine yourself transported to the bustling streets of Susa, the air thick with the scent of spices and the murmur of countless languages. Picture the imposing walls of the palace, a symbol of both power and intrigue, where a young Jewish woman named Esther found herself at the heart of a struggle for survival. Esther's journey is a testament to the power of faith, not as a passive acceptance of fate, but as an active force that emboldens individuals to confront seemingly insurmountable challenges. Despite the ever-present threat of discovery, Esther refused to renounce her heritage, her identity as a Jew serving as both a shield and a sword. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Book of Esther is the absence of any direct mention of God. This deliberate silence, far from diminishing the text's spiritual significance, invites us to contemplate the subtle yet profound ways in which divine providence operates in our lives. Like the intricate patterns woven into a Persian rug, God's presence in Esther's story is revealed gradually through a series of seemingly coincidental events that ultimately converge to deliver the Jewish people from annihilation. Esther's elevation to the position of queen, her timely discovery of Haman's plot, and the king's change of heart all point to an unseen hand orchestrating events from behind the scenes. This concept of divine providence, of a higher power working through human agency, offers a message of hope and reassurance. It reminds us that even when faced with seemingly insurmountable obstacles, we are not alone in our struggles. The Book of Esther is not merely a historical account, it is a timeless message of courage, resilience, and the triumph of good over evil. Esther's willingness to risk her life for her people serves as an enduring example of the power of one person to make a difference in the world. Her story challenges us to confront injustice, to speak out against oppression, and to embrace our own identities with pride and courage. It reminds us that silence in the face of evil is not neutrality, it is complicity. Like Esther, we are all called to be upstanders, to use our voices and our platforms to advocate for those who are marginalized and oppressed. The celebration of Purim, a joyous festival commemorating the deliverance of the Jewish people, serves as a testament to the enduring power of hope and the importance of remembering the past while looking towards a brighter future. The Book of Esther, with its timeless themes and enduring message, continues to resonate with readers across cultures and generations. It is a story that speaks to the very core of what it means to be human, to grapple with questions of faith, identity, and the pursuit of justice in a world often shrouded in darkness. As we reflect on the courage of Esther, the cunning of Mordecai, and the downfall of the wicked Haman, let us be inspired to embrace our own potential for heroism. Let us be challenged to confront injustice wherever we find it, and let us never underestimate the power of one voice, one act of courage to change the course of history. The Book of Esther is more than just a story. It is a call to action. It is a reminder that we all have a role to play in creating a more just and compassionate world. Let us go forth, inspired by the legacy of Esther, and be the change we wish to see in the world. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, leave a comment, and if you are not subscribed, subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell to not miss any videos like this one.